Hi everybody, Chris Phillip here live in the Dream Giveaway Garage on location. Today we're going to be talking one of the most famous cars of the original muscle car era. In fact, it's the very vehicle that started the muscle car era. Of course, I'm talking about the Pontiac GTO. In this example, a super rare, one of 249, 1969 GTO convertible with the very desirable Ram Air 3 V8 engine. Coming along, we're going to tell you all about what gives this goat its giddy up. When I say Ram Air 3 and 4-speed and 1969 GTO, you're probably thinking of the word Judge. Well, this is not a Judge. Customers in 1969 could order the very exact powertrain that came in the GTO Judge, but without the splashy graphics of the Judge. That's what the original owner of this GTO did. Then, during its restoration, someone added the Judge stripes and the Judge spoiler, but make no doubt about it, this is a very rare, one of 249 non-Judge GTO 4-speed convertible. Oh, look at all of these goodies underneath the hood of this Ram Air GTO. The first thing you see is the Ram Air pan. That is functional Ram Air. It is selectable from a lever underneath the steering wheel, and there's a pull cable that goes to the engine bay. This example, a Ram Air 3 mated to a 4-speed. It has power steering, power brakes, and it's got aftermarket climate control. That's a modern amenity that's been added to this classic GTO. If you're a purist, that air conditioning could be removed if you win this car. There are 4 engine options that were available on the 1969 GTO. The base engine was good for 360 horsepower. Amazingly, you could even order the GTO as a 2-barrel 400 for even less horsepower. I guess if your school teacher wanted to look cool but didn't want all that performance, they ordered that a 400 2-barrel. But the real action came in once you ordered the Ram Air engines. There was a Ram Air 3 and there was a Ram Air 4. The difference was pretty significant. The Ram Air 3 was a more streetable version of the Ram Air packages. It featured hydraulic lifters and a hydraulic cam. The Ram Air 4 was an all-out race engine, and very few people ordered that, especially in a convertible. If this were a Ram Air 4 convertible, you'd be looking at $500,000 or more in today's current value of these collector cars. All right, so we know this is a Ram Air engine and it's a Ram Air 3. When we look at the engine, we can see that it's got the full Ram Air pan and it's got the open scoops on the hood. Those scoops are open and close through a lever that's underneath the steering wheel. Also, this example has power brakes, power steering, and aftermarket air conditioning. All in all, it's a beautiful restoration on a very rare GTO. Again, only 249 of these Ram Air 3 4-speed convertible non-Judge GTOs. Well, another famous component on the 1969 Pontiac GTO are the hideaway headlights. You can see them up there in the front. And they look fantastic. These are still vacuum operated. They have not been changed out to the modern electric style, and they sure look the part. Believe it or not, the 69 GTO did not come standard with these hideaway headlights. They were an extra cost option. Look down here, Rally 2 wheels. You know, it's probably the most popular wheel that Pontiac ever made, and it was an extra cost option even on the 1969 GTO. This one looks great with modern rubber on it. It's got those BF Goodrich radial TAs in a P225/70R14 on those original wheels. Now let's take a look at the back of this GTO, and you'll see that during the restoration, a Judge-style spoiler was added for looks. Certainly looks great, but again, you could not order that spoiler from the factory, but you could go to your Pontiac parts counter and purchase it there and then have it installed after you purchased your 1969 GTO. But you don't have to worry about purchasing a 1969 GTO because we're giving this one away. Now let me tell you one other thing about this 1969 GTO and its tires. John DeLorean, who was the general manager of Pontiac, he wanted the GTO to be delivered with Michelin radials on it. Can you imagine the cost of that back in the 1960s? When General Motors heard about that, they said, no way, Mr. DeLorean, we're not going to pay all that extra money to put Michelins, and they ended up with Goodyear tires. True story. Pontiac was very proud of the GTO. You've got to remember it was the brand's flagship muscle car from 1964 to 1972. And so Pontiac put the word GTO almost everywhere they could put it on the car, including here on the rear quarter lights, a nice emblem here on the trunk, another rear quarter matching on this side as well, another GTO emblem on both of the fenders, and then of course the Ram air callouts on the front of the hood. Without a doubt, Pontiac wanted people to know that the GTO meant business in 1969. What better place to be than the driver's seat of a 1969 GTO? Let me show you some of the cool stuff in the cabin. Wood wheel, 4-speed shifter. Over here we can see that it's got that aftermarket classic air conditioning. Also has a modern AM/FM radio there. Now, looking at the gauges, you've got rally gauges here, but I can't see the tachometer. It would normally be here unless, aha, there it is right there on the hood. Hood tachometer, that's an extra cost option, and that has got to be my favorite feature of Pontiac's muscle cars is the hood tachometer. Back to that 4-speed, how about I fire this bad boy 1969 Ram Air GTO convertible up and let you hear what it's got. Only 249 of these super rare GTO convertibles were made in 1969, and you know you want to put this great example in your driveway. How do you do it? You go to www.dreamgiveaway.com. You use the promo code that you see with this video. You're going to get bonus tickets. There's not a better example of late 60s performance than the 1969 GTO. You can't buy this one. They're almost impossible to find on the market regardless, but you can enter to win it. We'll see you next time with more great fun, more great action, more great grand prize vehicles like a 1969 Ram Air GTO 4-speed convertible. It's the best of the best. It only happens here live in the Dream Giveaway Garage.